Let's pray that it never ends up in production hell, because I hate when things happen like that. Blow up on me, wear your afro like your backbone, won't you power up on me? Hi guys, and welcome back. It's your girl, Yummy.com. Thank you for joining me, internet friends. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and overall vibing. We're happy to have you. I like to do this thing where I read books and I cast them. I've only really done it once on this channel because it's actually quite an undertaking. You gotta read the book, then you gotta start looking for people, then you gotta edit together a trailer. That's a lot. I did that for Legendborn, which is a story that I deeply love, and I was in the middle of doing that for Children of Blood and Bones. I love this book, written by Tomi Adeyemi.
24 years old, you've already written a New York Times best-selling book.
People, a lot of times, they focus on the age, and I'm like, you know, I'm Nigerian. So that means every day I'm not a doctor is like a failure to my parents, so I kind of have to amp it up a little bit.
Like an author was not
I feel like I promise, it's a big book.
Who, if you don't recognize her, and you do recognize me for some reason, she's the voice in the intro trailer.
And I saw this magical black girl with green hair, and I was so captivated.
It's her voice. She was doing an interview talking about like what made her create this series.
There were no black characters, because I didn't think black people could be in books. So what really excites me about this and all the other awesome stories that are coming out right now is it's like we're all kind of fighting for the little versions of ourselves. So it could be like, hey, little nerd Tomi, like, write that dragon, but you can write it. Like, you know, you don't have to take yourself out of the adventure. So. And
I just really vibed with it. I always love the book. My sister recommended it to me. This was my Halloween costume a couple years ago, and it was, in my opinion, I put a lot of effort into it, and it was during COVID, so like, it wasn't like super popular yet. She liked it and commented on it, and it's one of the biggest, like, highest praises I had to this day. But I love this book. It's called Children of Blood and Bones. It's part of a trilogy. I own every single one of the trilogies, all the way to the last one that just released. There's Children of Blood and Bones, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and then Children of Anguish and Anarchy. I haven't gotten through this one yet because the person who reads the audiobooks is faking an African accent, and it bothers me so much. I don't know. And my grandma did die around the time this book came out, so I don't know. Something about it was like, I don't need to read this while I'm processing that. But they have like a cool little binding. They have like the book pages are like real nice, right? But I'm definitely gonna read it before the movie comes out. Being as such, I was in the middle of casting this movie. I had gotten a few of my big choices narrowed down. A few of them are actually in the actual cast, and they were like my long shot choices. So a lot of people who are actually in the cast, I actually accidentally casted for their roles.
This is going to be made into a movie now.
Yeah. It took like a year for me to be like, okay, they're not lying. Like I had this theory that Ashton Kutcher was reviving Punk'd, but like instead of targeting celebrities, he was gonna target regular people with their dreams and then take them away.
I just felt like there was no point in me to continue a little bit. They already casted it. I don't think they were gonna take my opinion in anyways. And a lot of the people that I had chosen in the roles actually got cast for the roles that they were chosen in.
Your Mama Akba, your Admiral Kaya, the Centauro, your Princess Amari.
So I figured there was no point, but I didn't want to like just put this on the back burner because I read the books. Well, I was already going to read the books, but I read the books and I already started like picturing this whole scene in my head, the way that it was kind of laid out, especially because I'm very connected to the subject matter.
It was like African gods and goddesses, and that's what I thought it was, and I'd never seen anything like that. Like my imagination had never gone as far as to think that there could be like black gods and goddesses. So instantly I saw the world.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
I will instead be making a soundtrack for the movie, I guess, a pseudo-fake soundtrack for the movie. I figured, what do I love more or equally to movies? It's music, and they released some of the Nigerian cast, which I love. Okay, so Genevieve Naviv was on my, like, of course, she's Nigerian icon. But like the dad who's in fucking every fucking show, he's the same dad in Wedding Party on the bougie side. Oh my gosh, Hollywood legends coming through, and I'm so excited, including Ira Star.
Fuck society, fuck you wanna be.
Seeing that Iris Star was going to be in this made my heart sing. I don't know what she's playing, but I'm so excited. I hope it's one of the girls that takes her fucking dome off, takes Zelly's dome off in the beginning. She didn't really, but I hope it's one of them. I hope she plays a diviner. She would look great with white hair. Regardless of what happens, oh my god, she should play one of the people in those the village that after they got the sunstone from. This is all irrelevant because you don't know what the plot is, right? The Children of Blood and Bones is basically what would happen if Harry Potter was African. I know what you're thinking. Don't we already have Wakanda? No, this is different. Wakanda is if we had just been left the fuck alone.
What is to one of our free universities where she can apply her intelligence and perhaps one day become a great scientist.
They just left Africa alone. That's Wakanda.
Y'all must not have no mean streets in Wakanda.
This is if Wakanda was Harry Potter. Or if Africa was Harry Potter-ish. Like if they had magical powers.
10 points to Gryffindor.
And a lot of the things that I love about this is that a lot of the words that you may not know, because I don't know if you're African, I know. So like they talk about like wearing an akbara, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly how to say that phonetically. I know exactly what an akbara is, you know what I mean? And a lot of like the gods and goddesses that they talk about, Orisha, like those are like gods and goddesses of like Nigerian stuff, which if you're like me and very Christian Nigerian, you know little to nothing because your mom says that's voodoo shit. My dad's a Baptist pastor, so they both are like, that shit, voodoo shit. I don't fucking want to deal with it. That still didn't tell you what this fucking book is about. It's based off of that. It tells the story of Zele, who is like diviner, as they call them in this world, which is a magi, a person of like the magical origins. There, with each diviner, you are kind of allocated to a god similar to Avatar, I would say.
Water, earth, fire, air.
To put it in like a way that you can prospectively get it, like Divergent or Avatar, you're like sectioned off, you're quartered off, which is terrible for children, as Brendan Lee Mulligan tells us.
You're predetermining a student's ability or assigning traits to them and grouping them into classes based on those traits. It's just a really proven ineffective and harmful to students to group them based on these sort of, just to group them.
Not everyone who is of these people have the power, which is where the issue lies. It's sounding very New Mutant, huh? It's sounding very X-Men-y, right? People who don't have the power get real antsy when people who do have the power have power, because then they're like, I can't control that, I don't want to deal with it, I'm trying to peace out. Or kill everybody, which is what they do. They murder everyone, including Zele's mom. The gods kind of just like left them, so they are kind of fending for themselves. The people who used to have magic or could have had magic are identified by their white hair, right? Zele's this girl who's kind of like a bad bitch, but she has no magic, but she really wants to prove herself. She gets into a lot of heaping trouble, as one does, and has to venture out with her brother. She ends up running into a princess who has a magical stone that could bring back all of the magic to the world. Oh my god, crazy, right? Crazy. She also runs into the princess's brother, the prince who is meant to be king, who hates magic people, but hey, turns out, spoiler alert, he is a magic person and hiding it from his father. But it's basically about the lives of these four characters, two sets of brothers and sisters who are like cross-pollinating, but also trying to bring magic back to the world. This is also a very colorist world, which I love.
Bitch, shut up! You a victim!
A lot of the times in media where we're this fantasy world, people kind of like don't remember the nuances of the human world. So like the colorism that even the princess faces from her own parents, like all those things are really built into this world, and it's really, you could tell it's written by an African woman.
Like basically think Black Panther with magic. Like it's a girl fighting to bring magic back to her people, but I also wanted to write about what was happening today. And so even though, you know, it's sort of like Inception, like the first layer is this epic story, but on the second layer there's this allegory for the modern Black experience. So I call it like cake with asparagus.
And I kind of love it. Like an African American woman, it screams, my parents were immigrants, and I kind of vibe and dig for it. Highly recommended. New York Times bestseller. She's, I think, gonna be in the movie. That being said, I will not be casting the movie, even though I've been working on that video for months. So thank you, Tomi. I will, however, be giving you a soundtrack. And this is kind of complicated because I couldn't remember exact plot points. Like, I knew the general story, but I can't tell you, like, this is exactly the song that I want to play at certain places right here, except for like certain big moments. So I'll give you those, and I'll also give you songs that kind of correlate to the character, and then general songs that like just fit the vibe. We'll probably start with general songs that fit the vibe, then we'll go to songs that fit moments, and then we'll go to songs that fit people. That being said, I need my handy dandy notebook. Okay, we're starting with things that would be connoted for scenes. We kind of open up in this underground fight scene that turns into like them hiding from the secret police or whatever who take taxes. Was Keep Me Going by Jacob Banks.
In the end of the rainbow, there was no one. It's only you that keeps me going. It's only you that keeps me going.
It's one of my favorite Jacob Banks songs. It's so African. I've seen him perform it live.
It's only you that keeps me going. It's only you that keeps me going. It's only you that keeps me going.
It's so African. You can tell he's a London-based Nigerian singer, and again, the song is very reminiscent of African music, traditional African music we kind of grew up on. I'm assuming he grew up on the same Baba Legba that I did. Kind of like that energy. It's off his The Village album, which really tells you the energy that was going for the album.
I also want to be clear that I'm not limiting it to just this song. I think that this one is obviously the most into it, but he has other songs like The Lover.
My lover, oh Lord,
Blind, that are more recent, that also really work.
Yes, this love is blind, but at least this love is mine.
Honestly, any of his albums could really work. Even the names of his albums, Lies About the War, For My Friends, Village, Our Time Together, The Boy Who Cried Freedom, The Monologue, Yonder, all of those titles sound like they should be a part of this universe. Limiting him to just one song would be honestly a crime, but if I had to choose a song, it would be this one because I'm just the most emotionally attached to it, and I feel like it's one of the ones that evokes happiness. And there's not a lot of happiness in this.
And it's very lovely. It's one of my favorites. And it kind of has a more uplifting, family-centric, you're the one that keeps me going, no, keeps me going. An optimistic start to a very sad reality, which I like. Another scene, and I said this under a Twitter post. I said this under like the official thing because I was like, hey, you have Iris Star. This is the time to strong arm her into getting a song, okay? Do it. I would love for her to create a song, but the song that I can see in my mind this beautiful thing. Sit with me, picture it with me. A village on the precipice before chaos breaks out. You just see Zélie running to her father's house. You see the village as it goes through. You see everything. And you get Birds Sing of Money by Iris Star. Just imagine it. It's such a beautiful, like, empty but still crazy deep and like drum heavy, like, and has kind of a marching feel to it, so it kind of feels a little bit militant. But still very freeing, and I think that would be an amazing request.
My grace not from Jehovah. Now why we dey ball like a gawa? Everything nice when you dey my corner, anything other. Woman commando. Woman commando.
They have a scene where they go to a party. I know there's partying in this, it's crazy. But they have a party, kind of like a festival, after they've collected the Sunstone, I believe. And they're at this like camp that they find before sadness ensues. And they're kind of dancing and everyone's like realizing that they're all slowly falling in love. They're all falling in love like children, hormonal children. And so two of the songs for that scene, specifically I was going to go with Easy by Rico Banks for Imani and what is her brother's name? Tenzin?
Don't pay a price, you don't even have $1. Easy, jaja, take it slow.
And then It's Plenty by Burna Boy for Zelly and her love interest. Kind of juxtapose.
The reason why I gave them each of the songs is very specific lines. Easy Jeje is like a broke boy trying to propose marriage with no money, as you can see in some of the lyrics. You may not be able to see it. I even had to get my sisters to help me translate because my Yoruba is terrible. That broke boy being Tenzin, her brother, obviously trying to court Amari. While we have It's Plenty, that's more so about how life is like numbing and you want to find this enjoyment because of the numbness. They even have a line about trying to find something that could relate to Zaylee, so that's why I kind of gave them It's Plenty.
It's been too
Obviously, when they go to Lagos, this happens before they go to the Sunstone, they go to Lagos, which is the initiate of their journey. That's where they run into the princess, they go on the run, all this stuff. When they go to Lagos, I wrote that La Fetette by Fowles should be playing.
We are with your neighbor. Baisse-moi co-magnet. C'est le moment de faire la fête. We are show
When I worked in Nigeria, that was like the height of the song, and everywhere you go, everyone would be like, have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with the guy from my city? Hakuna Matata. I like your Matata Watiti. Everyone was singing it. When I think of Nigeria, specifically Lagos, that's the song that comes to my mind. Maybe it's because of like when I was working there, it was all the rage.
Mommy, see, I know be little spender. I got a shitload of that legal tender. I'm thinking how we met is not coincidental. I can make a life just a little better. Have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with a guy from my city? Hakuna Matata. I like your matako, matiti. Look where do it magic.
And then for the ending, I can't say that. Just to convene with the ancestors. And for that song, I had Paradigm by the legendary Cloud 9.
So all I need to find is paradise, but all I hear at night are battle cries. Walking out alive, a firefight, when all I had in mind was Firefly.
The legendary Cloud 9, not a band that exists anymore, but it's a great song. Paradigm, it's called Paradigm, and it's the perfect like shift that you could see her meeting her ancestors to. Or there's like a scene where like they see the actual gods in like all their glimmering glory, like something like that in one of those epic moments. I think it would fit. Now that I've said that, I have songs for specific characters. Not even, really. It's mostly Zaylee. I think Zaylee, I would give her a Great One by Jessie Reyes.
I'm running out of patience. I wanna be a great one. And when the spirit calls me, I wanna throw my hands up, ready to be saved.
I know we have like kind of an Africa thing going, but that song's not really like African or Afrobeats or like even kind of remotely sounds-ish, but there's something so powerful about the lyrics of that song that kind of really correlate with Zaylee, especially like her want and need to free her people, and how that drives so much of her, but how she's also so scared of it. The need and want to be a great one, to be the one who does this thing, is built within her, but also is her biggest obstacle. She wants a better world, but she doesn't want to be the hero. She doesn't want to be the martyr necessarily. But so I think Great One is a great one.
I wanna make $1 billion, bring it to my pops, say daddy what you prayed for. What is life, what is love? What is time, what is trust? What is everything? Everything is nothing without you. What is life, what is love? I don't find enough. What is everything? Everything is nothing without you.
Tenzin I went with, which is her brother. I went with It's a Goal.
Cassius is a go. YBN is a go. Nigeria is a go. Oka Demons is a go. Imaka is a go. Besenudia is a go. Pa Enemy Tobabe is a go. Kiri Up is a go.
I just think it's very funny. He's an athlete. I think that's funny. There's no like rhyme or reason. I just genuinely think it's funny. I tried to pitch that in college. I would make sports edits for Glass. And I tried to pitch It's a Goal, and they said no. Tried to get a Long Island lacrosse team to agree to Afrobeat song, and they just flipped their wig. For Amari, I had Play Pretend by Kenny JD.
You're feeling deep inside, deja vu. Just play pretend.
Play Pretend is just so eerie and like quiet and like regal. Honestly, it's like there's a silence and serenity to it that I think really reminds me of Amari's duality, because she's kind of like this bubbly little character, princess, bratty, spoiled, whatever. Not really, that's how everyone kind of sees her, but she's also like kind of a trained killer.
I feel like everybody is capable of murder if you just believe.
Like, and there's something about that juxtaposition that reads eerie to me and kind of follows through. So I thought Play Pretend by Kenny JD would be really good. Her brother.
What did you say about my brother?
You stay away from my brother. You put your paws on my brother. You put the jaws on my brother. Sorry, stuck in my head. But for her brother, I had Peaceful Place by Leon Bridges.
I found something no one can take away. I'm in a peaceful place now. I'm in a peaceful place now.
Again, not African really. Kenny JD too, not African. But there's something like so resonant with the lyrics about being kind of like in this tortured spirit and then reaching a peaceful place.
Though I was stone on the inside, I felt alone. I felt so alone.
But like there's also a back and forth on whether you deserve this peaceful place. It's for this first book, that's really where his kind of like feelings lie. I think it's very beautiful and I think it would follow him very well. Those are for the characters. Now we're just gonna run through songs that I think would be great for the playlist, for the soundtrack. I used to like be obsessed with scores as a kid. Oh my gosh, most of my records are scores. I have The Greatest Showman, I have Birds of Prey, like most of my things are scores. Everything. I even have the Everything Everywhere All at Once one. Yeah, like a lot of my like record players are like scores. So with that being said, we'll do a final list up of the ones that don't really have a character or a moment attached to them but I think would play well into this. One is Numb by Aubrey Joseph.
Pray to God I never fall. Pray to darkness take me off. I need you like you need this song. I'm just so numb without you.
I wanted to add again more like R&B songs because yes, I love us focusing on Africa, don't get me wrong, but I wanted a little bit something so it's not just like we're only doing Africa, baby. That's it for everything, forever.
this time for Africa.
And that song was kind of also an OST for Cloak and Dagger, which was a freeform TV show that was really good and shouldn't have been canceled, but he was the main character in it, so I'm sure he's not doing anything right now. He could do it. Whispers by Halsey.
Camouflage so you can feed the lie that you're composed. This is the voice in your head that says you do not want this. This is the ache that says you do not want it.
Again, I wanted to add in more like non-African and Afrobeat songs just to like balance out the entire playlist. I didn't want it to all be one note, and I think that that song is deeply haunting. There's something so disturbed about it.
Got a monster inside me that is personality tortures, constantly changing the mind of it daily. Think that she hates me, I'm feeling it lately. Might have to trick her and treat her to 70 capsules. Fly to the castle so at least we could say that we died, we even traveled. Cultured and flattered, and then I could trap her, but what does it matter?
I've seen some truly fucked up edits to it, and I think it'd be perfect for like a dark moment. There are a lot of actual dark moments in this. There's like a I don't want to say. We also have Running to You by Chika and Simi.
If I ever need saving, I'll be running to you.
Running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you. Running, running, running to you.
I love this song. I love Simi. I think I've talked about her in my like top 5 Nigerian female artists. She has a much more traditional sound, and this one has like a like kind of a vibe to it that I really love. There's Taking Off by Clippings.
This action, no time for your planning. The lifespan like this fuse is too short. That rocket is taking off. Say what? Taking off. Say what? Say what?
I will never hesitate to put a Clipping song some fucking where. There's something so truly mechanical and crazy about this song, and so antithesis of what this world is. This world is kind of like this natural Africa like place. It's not like Wakanda where there's technological advances and stuff like that. Like it's a natural fishing village. Like they fish, they hunt, they do, like it's a natural world. So having something like Taking Off, or any Clipping song really, to have go in the movie automatically serves a juxtaposition that I think would make the entire soundtrack more interesting.
All day long it is bombs over Baghdad, right in the backyard. No service, no draft, no reason to go out, but no reason to stay in when the roaches are all raided and your neighbors bumping black flag. Tired of living like this, but not ready to die because he isn't notorious yet. Everyone wants to be somebody known for doing something people call glorious, yes.
And the last one, you thought I was gonna sit here with a blackity black show, with a blackity black cast, and not put Kendrick and SZA on the line? Are you nuts?
You is as black as an 8-ball. Y'all could never be blacker.
You talking about all the stars Wakanda?
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me.
You talking about Luther?
Out. Slow. Stop.
You talking about Doves in the Wind?
Come on.
Niggas will lose their mind for it, dying for it. Pussy.
When they made pussy the most popular word of the year? Never that. Especially the year he was having. Can we afford Kendrick? Who fucking knows? Will we try? Absolutely yes. And if we can't get him to make an original song, which I would much appreciate, honestly, the diaspora needs it, I thought that one of his songs off of GNX could work. Gloria by Kendrick and SZA.
Then fall right back in love the very moment that I touch you.
It's the redheaded stepchild of the GNX album, because everyone knows Luther. Everyone loves to do the little Luther challenge.
If this world were mine.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I take your hand. When you ride it, slide.
Maybe you would stop, strike.
But everybody for fucking gets Gloria. Kind of when you combine SZA and Kendrick's voices with that kind of like Latin flair that's there briefly in the beginning, but kind of like weaved and twinkled places. It makes it make so much more sense towards like putting it in this African thing. Also, there's a line about him going to Africa in 2014 or 2019.
In 2014, I went to Africa, baby. You was my passenger. My eyes and ears for all it is. The neighborhood that baffled us.
I don't know. It's a big part, and I'm probably gonna get copyrighted the shit for this, but someone needs to see this.
What? I gave you life. I breathe the motherfucking charisma in this bitch. I bring the blessings. I gave you power. Nigga, I bring the rainfall. I gave you hustle.
And then it's him and SZA kind of going back and forth. He's like, well, fuck you. And she's like, no, fuck you. Like, it's very cute.
Give me something cheap so I can spit it out. Hit me again.
It's like a nicer version of We Cry, which is also a Kendrick Lamar song where him and a girl are going back and forth, and that one's way meaner.
I'd rather fuck off the truth.
I'd rather fuck on your cousin.
Bitch, you said you go fuck who?
You heard me, nigga. It's nothing.
You know what? Fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you, nigga.
But this section, it kind of reminds me of the two main characters. It's very actually kind of savage, but that's well on the par for their relationship, if you can even call it that, by the end of the first book. Sorry. With that being said, that's kind of where I wanted to land. Iris Star, Burna Boy, Jacob Banks, throw in a couple Rima songs. I like Gucci. You can throw in some Gucci all over.
I just want your loving. My baby. I just want you to know. I wanna be all over you. Lay your body like that too. Tell me what I cannot do when it comes to you.
So with that being said, I'm Yummy.com. Thank you, friends, for liking and subscribing. Please go out and check Children of Blood and Bones when it comes out. They're currently filming, I believe. They're in production. Let's pray that it never ends up in production hell, because I hate when things happen like that. And this is such a good story, and I'm super excited for it to come out. It has a really good cast. I love Tomi Adeyemi. I think she is a phenomenal writer and a charismatic personality. If you have a chance, go check out her work. 3 books, you have plenty of time. With that being said, I'm Yummy.com. Don't worry, I'll be back, so stay tuned, internet friends. Thank you.